Alright everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to The King's Speech. So go to the channel. I just did channel update video. Should be out by now. So go check that out. Talks about how read-throughs and everything will be coming back by Christmas break, hopefully. I also just realized after I finished recording that I should have mentioned, of course, we're getting caught up on Shonen Jump chapters and stuff today as well. But you all know what the score is. I've been talking about how I've been keeping current with this for the last little while. So falling a little bit behind. We've got a little bit of catching up to do, but a lot of great content coming out. We've got some Akane-Banashi to catch up on. We've got a new chapter of Spy Family. We've got a new chapter of Goku Rakugai. Kaiju will also be back later this week as well, so I'm looking forward to that, hopefully delivering as well. But a lot of great content coming your way, so if you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, it really does mean a lot to me, especially this last little while, since I've been in kind of a creative rut. So any kind of show of support, solidarity really does mean a lot to me. So if you'd like to do that, that'd be greatly appreciated. Without further ado, let's get into it with Akane-Banashi, Story 89, Tanuki Stories. With story by Yuki Tsunaga, art by Takamasa Moe, translation by Stephen Paul, lettering by Sneer Aran. And I do like this little... I feel like this is based on like a game or something, but it's like, I do love the little cover page with like everyone dressed on like little tanukis in like old Edo Japan, I assume. Yeah, Rakugo 200 Edo style. I just saw the little thing up there. It looks really cool. I love the cover page. But we have about a month after the Arakawa New Breeze, we have Rokuro Nisan. And he's like, "Hey Asagao, you didn't need to come to meet me." He's like, "No way! You came out to see our show. I need to show appreciation." And he's like, "Here's a gift." He's like, "Well, thanks. Anyway, Master Chocho's asking the impossible from you. For a Zenza event, you're lucky to break double digits." And you see that wherever he's going to, he's got a Rakugo cafe on the 5th floor. He's like, he wants 50? There are plenty of Futatsume who wouldn't get that much. Oh shit. And you see as Rokuro's going into like the audience as he parts the curtain, he's looking in surprise as the room looks pretty packed for what it is. Like it's a small, like narrow little cafe room. And he's like, "There's 20. No, over 30 people in here. And for a Rakugo audience, they're really young." And see like a bunch of excited like little kids and like teenagers sitting in there. And he's like, "What is this?" And you have a titi tum tum. It's like, "Hello everybody." And you just see him like looking shocked and embarrassed with a what? And you see Akane dressed up as this ridiculous mascot Tanuki furry outfit with "It's me, Tanugan! Welcome to the Rakugo Zoo." It's like, "Tanugan, it's a Tanuki!" And Rokuro's like, "Huh?" It's like, "It's so cute!" And he's like, "Asagao, what is this?" He's like, so we held this event at the end of October, and it was such a hit with the younger set that we scraped together another date. He's like, "Well, it certainly got visual impact." It's like, "I see. So you changed tack leaning into your audience." And Asagao was like, "That's what you think, right? But that's not all of it." And you see, yes, as Akane gets up on stage still in her little Tanuki outfit and sits down and goes, "Stories in Rakugo usually feature people, but," of course, we have our Rakugo supervision by Keiki Hayashiya. "Between dogs, cats, Tanuki, horses, and foxes, some stories feature animals as well, and you have animal stories. It's like there's a rich variety too. So you have Tanuki, carp, Tanuki dice, Gonbei the Tanuki. It's like over 10 stories feature Tanuki alone. This is one of them, a story about a shape-shifting Tanuki. Jeff, "Hey boss, it's me, the Tanuki. I came to repay you for earlier in the day." Jeff, "Tanuki money." Hachigoro rescues a Tanuki who comes back to thank him. The Tanuki offers to transform to repay his debt. It's like, "That's mighty good of you, but I just appreciate the offer." It's like, "No, don't say that, let me help. If I go back without repaying you, I'll never hear the end of it from the other Tanuki. They'll say he never repays his debts. They'll say, 'What are you, a human?'" He's like, "Hey, I'm standing right here." And you see Rokuro's like taken aback by this. He's like, "I didn't have her pegged for an animal lover, and yet..." He's like, "Hey Tanuki, if you can turn into anything, then turn into money. Try turning into a 10 yen bill." It's like, very well, but a machine to be seen transforming. Can you close your eyes and count to 3 for me? It's like, sure thing, here goes. 1, 2, 3! And the pop in hey! You see him just transforming into like this huge bill. It's like, that's way too big! You have to be smaller, shrink down! And he's like, I couldn't have imagined. And Asuka was like, she's looking good, right? She learned this Tanuki story specifically for this event, and she struck gold. Her voice is brighter and higher pitched than a man's, making it ideal for telling a story with animal characters. She's been on fire lately, learning and performing all kinds of animal stories. And Rokuro was like, I guess focusing on success with the crowd will lead you to certain skills. First, she used a squabble backstage as fuel for her story. Then she does fetching tea. He's like, it's like, I guess it suits her. She's kind of a Tanuki in her own way. And Asuka was like, kind of a Tanuki? It's like, yeah, she's a shapeshifter. And you see, it's good to see you again, Rokuro Ani-san, as you have like the survey boxes filled out with papers. He's like, yeah, we haven't met since the Rokumekai. You've gotten better since then, haven't you? And he's like, oh, no, I still have a long way to go. The older guys are all pushing ahead in their own ways. I've got to try to keep up with them. And Karashi's like, wait until you're ahead of me to talk about that. He's like, Irk. He's like, but I won today! And you see tops in the audience survey. First round was Asuka with friends and family. Second round was Karashi with pure skill. And then it's like, I won the last round! It's like, if anything, you've only just caught up to me. It's like, last time I was doing a news story! It's like, so was I! And Asuka was like, knock it off, behave yourselves! It's like, sorry about that, Ani-san. And Rokuro was like, it's a fun show, nice and lively. It's like, yeah, they can be annoying, but they're good motivation for me. And he's like, still, it's gotta be tough. He's like, well, I'm the oldest, so it's up to me to keep them in line. And Rokuro was like, no, not about that. I mean the booking for your Futatsume debut event. Master Chocho's got some wild ideas. If that marquee comes together, it's going to draw all the attention of the Rakugo world. Considering the need to draw an audience for your study events, just let me know if there's anything I can help with. And he's like, thank you for saying that. So by the way, have you decided who you want as an opener for your debut? And you see Asuka going, that's something I'm deciding now. As you see Akane and Karashi still fighting. And you see that's 18, 820, BB of 0.5, M cubed due today. It's like, right, thank you very much. It's like, why are you ordering at this hour? It's like, well, we're not the preferred partner. It's like, so I hear you're moving back to the Tokyo office at the end of the year. I know you want to go back home, but do they have to do it during the holidays? And you see, actually, the timing's perfect for me. I've got some business to clear up back there. And you see Kane's father. Why can I not remember his name? What the hell was her father's name? Come on. Why can I never see it? Shinta. Yes, you see Shinta sharing a smoke with one of his co-workers at the concrete business he was in, as he sees on his phone incoming call from Chocho. It'll be very interesting to see if he's going to be back into the story again. But I guess some quick thoughts on the Tanuki stories stuff. So it's nice to see kind of Rokuro being roped back into the story. Again, and kind of seeing his like his relationship with like some of the other Rakugo characters as well. Again, I like how we're seeing kind of like the emphasis on like changing the landscape of Rakugo, so to speak, with Akane and the rest of them kind of like trying to rope in a younger crowd into like the Rakugo audience, like appreciating Rakugo stories. Because again, I feel like until now, with the focus and the emphasis we've got, I feel like it's been on seeing, you know, mostly like adults or older people that are into Rakugo, which kind of squares with the whole idea, like, you know, it's an older art form, so like, you know, of course the older generations will be the ones that most appreciate or are supportive of it. It also makes sense, you know, they're the ones that have like, you know, spending money and things, so they're able to buy tickets for Rakugo events and such. So you don't really imagine like kids really buying tickets to like a performance or stuff like this. So it's interesting kind of seeing like that's the tactic they went to, is like an appeal to, you know, a market that really a market that you really wouldn't consider tied to Rakugo. So I did like that kind of like little spin on that with this chapter. Again, I like how we're kind of like slowly expanding like the showcase like knowledge of like what Rakugo is and what it entails, with how we have like the stories, but like the stories that feature anthropomorphic animals and stuff like that as well. So I think that was like a good way to tie it in, like how do you appeal to an audience of kids? It's like you have anthropomorphic animals as the draw that you pull in. So there's a nice tie in like the whole like the costumes and everything they're doing to the kind of stories they're performing and stuff like that. So in that regard, this chapter was really good. Again, I love how like the other characters are kind of seeing like Akane's drive and like her hunger and her passion for Rakugo, like how that's informing like the choices and stuff she's making. So I do really love that, like the growth we're seeing with her, where she's kind of like so passionate, kind of like delving further and deeper into Rakugo. So I think that was also a really nice touch. I was almost certain, like when the Rakugo was just like, she's kind of a Tanuki in her own way. I was not expecting to say she's a shapeshifter. I was expecting to say like, like she likes to cause mischief and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess the shapeshifter thing kind of makes more sense in regards to like a compliment to Akane. But apart from that, I am curious what's going to happen with Shinta coming back into the story, and if he's going to meet with Chocho, if we're going to get like some backstory and stuff with regards to that. But yeah, this arc is going to potentially run into some interesting directions. So hopefully we'll manage to keep up the head of steam it's built so far. But I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes from here. It's been a lot of fun. So like I mentioned, there was a channel update short one that dropped today, so go check that out. Apart from that, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we'll get caught up on some Shonen Jump stuff this weekend. So we got Akane, Goku Rakugai, as well as Spy Family. So a lot of great content. As always, if you enjoyed these videos, please do like, comment, subscribe. Like I mentioned, it really does mean a lot to me. And until next time, this is Ash. I will talk to you all later.